Hello and welcome to a new video from Architects Academy. And in today's video, we are going to talk about the changes which have happened in the 2024 NATA exam. So as you are aware that NATA is an exam which all the students who wish to take admission to architecture have to appear. So in order to secure their admission to the BArch course. Now let's try and understand what is NATA. So um, NATA is the National Aptitude Test in Architecture. So it is an all India entrance exam conducted by the Council of Architecture in New Delhi to get admission to BArch course in colleges across India. Now when will say this NATA 2024 be conducted? So there is a major change happening this year that say this exam will be conducted on all weekends in 2 sessions starting from April to July of 2024. Now earlier on what used to happen is that there were totally 3 dates which were given, and the students had the choice to pick from the 3 dates only. But now the students are going to have a flexibility in choosing their date on any weekend starting from April to the end of July. So that is a major and a good change which has happened. Now let's see what will be the schedule of the examination. So the examination will be conducted on say in 2 sessions. So the first session will be from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. So that is 3 hours, and the session 2 will be from 1:30 p.m. to 4:30 p.m. That is again 3 hours. Now who all can appear for this NATA exam in 2024? So you must be fitting in either of these criteria. So number one, so you must have passed or should be appearing in a 10+1 examination with physics, chemistry and maths as subjects. Or so you must have passed or you should be appearing in 10+2 examination with say again physics, chemistry, maths as subjects. Or you must have passed or be appearing in 10+3 diploma examination with mathematics as a subject. So these are the eligibility criteria for the exam. Now what will be the format of the exam? Let's try and understand. So this year's NATA exam will be conducted in 2 parts, part A and part B. Part A will be the drawing and composition test, that is in offline mode. So that will be a 1.5 hour test, and part B will be MCQ test. So that is a computer based test, and this will be in say in an online mode. So that will again be 1.5 hours. So the total duration of the exam will be 3 hours, and the total marks allotted for this exam is say out of 200. Now these are some changes which the students need to note before they start preparing for the exam. One more major change which has happened is that the medium of aptitude test has been set in 2 languages. So earlier on it was only in English, but from this year it will be in English as well as Hindi. Now what will be the marking scheme? So let's talk about part A first, that is the drawing and composition test. So it will be consisting of 3 questions. So first one will be called A1, and it will be about composition and color. So that will be of 25 marks. Then the second question which will be called A2. So that will be regarding sketching and composition, and this will be in black and white. That means that the student need not color this sketch. So that will be for 25 marks. And the third question which will be named as A3. So that will be say a 3D composition, that will be for 30 marks. So the total there will be 3 questions for 80 marks, okay, in part A. So that is a change which has happened, which you need to note. Now let's see the content of part A. So in the first part, that is A1, so that is composition and color. So it reads that creating suitable compositions for various situations and also coloring them appropriately, rearranging various shapes in visually appealing manner, and also coloring it suitably. So the students are expected to design compositions and then color them also. We have A2, that is sketching and composition. So ability to draw, visualize and also depict a situation involving buildings, its components, people, environment, products. So with an understanding of scale, proportions, textures, shades and shadow, etc. So this means that the students have to visualize from their memory and then draw certain objects or certain views to clear this section. So that is of 25 marks. And then we have third part, that is 3D composition. So this involves creating interesting 3D composition from the given situation. Now let's see the marking scheme for part B. So that is the MCQ test or the computer based online test. So that will be consisting of two types of questions. So the first type of question will be B1 category. So in that there will be 30 questions of 2 marks each. So total 60 marks. And B2 category, that is 15 questions of 4 marks each. So that will be consisting of 60 marks. So total 45 questions for 120 marks. So that makes it 80 plus 120, that is 200. So that is how you have to say understand this exam. So more weightage is given to the MCQ part and say lesser weightage is given to the drawing part. So that is what we can say from this analysis. Now what will be the content of part B? So they have given certain headings under which part B will be have to be studied. So first is visual reasoning. So that is ability to understand and reconstruct say the 2D and 3D composition, knowledge about its composition and technical concepts. So the student needs to understand what a composition is and what is the difference between 2-dimension and 3-dimension, and also certain technical terms regarding that. Then the next part is about logical derivation. So that is ability to decode a situation, composition, context and generate meaning. So understanding the minute information hidden in a particular situation and drawing conclusions out of it. So this will be more of an analytical aspect of the exam. Third part will be GK architecture and design. So the student needs to have certain amount of general awareness of architecture and design, then the current issues, then the recent episodes, and the knowledge about important buildings, historical progression, then also the innovation in materials and construction technology. So this is a vast aspect which the student needs to study, and he should be up to mark with the latest technology also. Then the next part is talking about language interpretation. So here we have the ability to correctly and logically generate meaning of words and sentences, then understanding about English grammar. So the student is expected to read and then learn about this. Then we have design sensitivity. So here we have the ability to observe, record and analyze people, space, product, environment, and a critical say the thinking part, and a reasoning and ability to identify the subtle communications. So this is what they have mentioned in their brochure. So we will talk about each and every aspect in detail in the upcoming videos, but for now you can just read through this. Then next is about design thinking. So that is ability to understand say the semantics, then the metaphors, then also the problem identification and definition and analysis of a given situation. And lastly we have numerical ability. So here the basic mathematics and its association with creative thinking will be tested, and to unfold a space with the use of geometry. So the overall aspect of mathematics will be covered, but that will be at a basic level. Now let's try and understand what is the qualification score for the exam. So the qualifying marks for the NATA 2024 would be based on the following rules. Now you need to understand this very thoroughly, that a minimum of 20 marks must be secured in part A. So we are talking about the first section, so that is the drawing section. So the candidate must have minimum 20 marks out of 80, and a minimum of 30 marks must be secured in part B, so that we are talking about MCQ section. So 30 marks out of 120 is the qualification score. Now the overall qualifying marks shall be 70 marks out of 200 as the aggregate of part A and part B. So 70 marks and beyond will be considered as qualified for the NATA 2024 exam. That you need to understand. So this is a very important condition, that a candidate will not qualify in NATA 2024 unless all the three conditions mentioned above, so in the previous slide, are satisfied. Okay. Now in case the candidate appears in multiple tests, all the previous scores shall appear on the scorecard, and the best score obtained in all attempts shall be taken as a valid final score. So you need to understand that See, only and only if you satisfy all these three conditions, that is score minimum 20 marks in part A, minimum 30 marks in part B, and aggregate of 70 marks out of 200 in part A plus part B, only then you have qualified the exam. Now this is a major change which has happened this year, that what would be the validity of the score. So from this year onwards, the score of NATA test would be valid for a period of 2 academic years. So earlier on it was only 1 academic year. Now it is 2 academic years. Now how many times can a student attempt the exam in 1 academic year? So it is a maximum of 3 attempts. So the student needs to make a strategy and he needs to decide that on which 3 weekends is he going to give the exam, and accordingly he needs to wisely select the dates. So depending on his board exams and of course the other competitive exams if the student is appearing. So the maximum number of attempts is 3, though the exam will be conducted on all weekends. So that is what you need to understand. And the best score out of the 3 attempts shall be considered as the final score. Now these are the things to remember. So before you fill the application form, so you must read the online instructions carefully from the NATA brochure, and before filling in the application form online, and specify all the personal information, address, date of birth correctly. Remember your username and security question, answer and password. Choose the city of test center carefully. So generally you will get the first preference itself, and upload a colored photograph and signature of the specified size only. So you need to follow these instructions very thoroughly. Now whenever you fill the form, you will get a confirmation page. You need to retain a copy of that, and also follow the time schedule as mentioned in the brochure and the appointment card. Carry a printed copy of appointment card to the examination hall. Now from this year you are allowed to carry scale and dry colors. So they have specifically mentioned that carry pencils and erasers, sharpeners, dry colors, and scale up to 15 centimeters is allowed. So till last year scale was not allowed in the NATA exam, but from this year you can carry a scale with you. Now only candidates with appointment card shall be granted entry in the examination hall. So you must make sure that you keep your appointment card with you, and also carry a printed copy of the same. Now let's try and understand what is the eligibility criteria for admission to BArch course. Now this is based on the minimum standards of architectural education regulations 2020. So let's read through that. So no candidate shall be admitted to the course of architecture unless she or he has passed 10+2 or equivalent examination with physics, chemistry and mathematics as compulsory subjects with at least 50% marks in aggregate, or passed 10+3 diploma examination with mathematics as compulsory subject with at least 50% marks in aggregate. So you need to understand that there are two conditions. First of all, you need to clear your board exams, and minimum 50% marks is what you require admission to architecture. Now let's discuss where we come in into this picture. So we do provide free career counseling on this choosing architecture as a career, say with prior appointment. And if you want to book the appointment, you can call or WhatsApp me on this number. So this career counseling can be done online also. So it doesn't matter where you stay. So we can also easily connect via Google Meet or any other platform. Now we also conduct special customized batches for the NATA exam preparation. Now the admissions for 2024 NATA crash course have started. So if anyone wants to inquire, they can definitely drop a query, say in the comments box below, or they can WhatsApp me on the number given above. We have special online batches for the NRI students. So even if you are staying abroad and you want free career counseling, or you want to attend our crash course, then we have that facility. So we have specialized, so that is one-to-one online batches for you. And we also have 1 or 2 years coaching available. So if there is a student who is watching, or say who is in currently in the 10th standard and he wants to give NATA say 2 years after this, he also can join our course. So definitely. So these are our flyers. So just for your reference, so which we are showing you. So I hope you like this video very much, and so you should share this with your friends who are also appearing for the NATA 2024, so that they also will be aware about these changes. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. So because we are going to get you periodical updates regarding this exam, and also going to share some valuable information related to this exam.